Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in with me today. I do appreciate it. This is AMs with Annette. This is your daily coronavirus and UK business update. So thank you for tuning in. I am just going to type that into Instagram so that everyone on there knows what they are tuning into. So do bear with me on other platforms as I do that. And if you are joining me on any other platform, please do come and say hello. Let me know in the comments as well. Not just on other platforms, of course. Do let me have a hello if you are on Instagram too. I would love to know you are here. I am just making sure that we set up all the other streams. So please do come and say hello if you are tuning in. I would love if you want to do that. So thank you again, as I say, for tuning in. I very much appreciate it. I can see that we have some people hopping on. Hello Angus, hello Jason, hello Mika. Thank you for tuning in. I very much appreciate you hopping on today. So let's see what we've got in terms of the topics that we are covering today. Any questions that you have, do let me know in the comments. I would love to be able to answer those for you. So please do let me know if you are if you're tuning in and if you have any comments as well. For those of you who are new to my live streams, if you have never joined me for AMs with Annette before, my name is Annette Ferguson. I am CEO of Annette & Co, UK-based chartered accountant, UK-based accounting firm, and I am also a certified Profit First professional, which means that I help business owners take home more money from their business for them and their families to enjoy. Of course, at this present point in time, it is incredibly challenging for many people to do that, which is why I started AMs with Annette, to support you both during this time and of course beyond. And we are on, I believe, the 30th, or maybe it's the 29th, AMs with Annette today. So I'm very excited to be here still doing these sessions. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the follows, all those good things. I do very much appreciate them. So thank you so much for joining me. So I do have my trusty cup of tea with me as always, which I'm going to take a drink of before we dive into the content for today. Thank you, Horror, for tuning in. Thank you, Mika. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Average Moi. Thank you, Charlotte. I do very much appreciate everyone who has joined us. So Amazon sales rose more than a quarter in the first 3 months of the year. This, of course, leads us to the question, is this going to change the way we shop forever? Is this crisis and pandemic going to alter the way that we in the UK and actually, in fact, people across the world are shopping? Is it going to have a long-term impact? Or is this going to be a short-lived impact whereby, once everything opens up again, actually people start shopping in their normal way that was normal for them before? Difficult to tell, but there are a lot of commentators believing that actually this will change the way that we shop forever. This will change the way that we we decide that we want to be in public, and therefore will change the way that we are shopping as well. Bulldog Fella saying they believe it's short term, and once we get vaccines, then it will revert back. Yes, Stephen is speaking about gloves and masks and whatnot. Exactly. So it's tricky to know, and it'll be very interesting to see how this does impact people. But if you do run a retail business, interesting to keep an eye on this and watch what the consumer trend is over time and whether stuff does change back, because of course that's very much going to impact your business. So if you are running a retail business and you have a small online presence or no online presence, then it might be something to be looking at if consumers are going to be changing their behavior in the long run. It may be something to be looking at even in the short run to, if we have a second wave, for example, to make sure that people can still buy from you. So, strategically examining that if you are in retail is going to be very important, and making sure that you are abreast of that situation to understand what that actually means in reality for your business ongoing, and what it means for us as a country, as a nation, as to whether we are changing our shopping habits or not. So yeah, absolutely. Amazon sales rose more than a quarter in the first 3 months of the year. And of course, for a period of that time, countries were not in lockdown as well. So this is based on the end of March for most countries as well. In some places, Italy, France, Spain, etc., were a little bit earlier than that, but not significantly. So that's what we're hearing from the Amazon side of things. Safety in the workplace. Of course, leading on from, speaking about Amazon is absolutely paramount. Amazon did come under some scrutiny, but safety in the workplace is massively, massively paramount. And those workplaces that were considered pretty safe before, of course, are now no longer safe places to be. Let's think of a care home, for example. Historically, that would have been a pretty safe working environment. And of course, now it is one of the most unsafe working environments. Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, has said, "We are going to insist that businesses across this country look after their workers and are COVID secure. The Health and Safety Executive, HSE, the regulator, will be enforcing that, and we will have spot inspections to make sure that businesses are keeping their employees safe." However, the HSE has suffered massive funding cuts over the last 10 years. And over the last 10 years, the HSE's remit the HSE's remit has to have been as light touch as they possibly could be. They have had their funding cut in the last 10 years by over £100 million, and their workforce shrank by a third, as well as being told in 2011 to reduce their proactive inspections by a third. So it's all very well saying the health and safety executive should be running this and should be doing spot checks and things, but they've been significantly under-resourced and been told to pull back over the last 10 years. So who is going to actually be able to do those checks is going to be very unclear, because they don't have the inspectors. Now, they have been promised an extra £14 million in funding to take care of this. But like I say, the funding cuts were over 100 million since 2010, and it takes years for them to train inspectors. So yes, it's great that we are hearing that the Prime Minister wants to put more checks in place, have more inspectors out there. But at the moment, that's not going to be physically possible, because the inspectors do not exist as a result of cuts to the health and safety executive that have happened over the last 10 years. So we're not sure where that's actually going to leave us in practice when it comes to enforcing the health and safety measures that are required to keep both employees and customers safe during this time, particularly as we hear that some retail will be able to start opening up again as well in the next couple of weeks too. So let me check to see if we have any questions, any queries, etc. Do let me know if you are watching. Give me a hello if you have not commented or mentioned anything yet in the comments. Do let me know. Hello, May. Hello, Peppy. Hello, Charlotte. Hello, Polly Paul. Thank you for tuning in again today. I do appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. So, hello, Hayden. Hello, Bruno. So, Polly Paul is asking, we've been told that we have to pay back the extra 20% top up once we get back doing overtime. Polly Paul, is this in relation to topped up furlough payments? If you can just be a tiny bit more specific on that and what industry you're in, that'll be really helpful so that I can answer that better. I'm assuming you're referring to topped up furlough payments, but I'm not 100% clear on who is telling you have to pay back what and to whom. So if you can be clearer on that, then I can help you more on that as well. So you're being told by your employer, Polly, who are you being told by that you need to pay back the 20% top-up payments that have been made to you? If you can let me know who is telling you that, because it sounds like it's your employer, and no, that's not the case legally. So do let me know what that is, if that is your employer that's telling you that. Hype House 1364 says, is that your accountant or your bank account keeps asking me to move my money into another? Again, Hype House 1364, if you can be clearer, is that your accountant is asking you to move money into a different bank account? If you can be more specific on that, what they're saying, then I can support you as well. So Polly, yeah, no, I'm not expecting you to divulge what company it is you actually work for, but you're saying that's in motor manufacturing. So is it your employer that's saying you need to repay the 20% topped up money? If you can just let me know if it is your employer that's saying that, because if so, that is off their own back that they are saying that. That is not anything that has been mandated. So do let me know on that. And if you want to take this discussion and DM me the full story, I'm happy to do that. If you don't have the capability to DM me within TikTok, you can find the link to my Instagram and do it via that way if you wish. I am happy, because I believe on TikTok you have to have certain privileges backwards and forwards to DM. So if you want to send me the whole story, then I can make sure I have a look at it and let you know and advise you on that as well. As I said, any questions that you might have, please do let me know in the comments. I am more than happy to answer those. Financial Jim, thank you for joining me. Henry, thank you for tuning in. Old Buddy, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for sending me roses and things in TikTok too. That's very kind of you. Hype House is saying, my banker's saying for me to move money into a different bank account. Is this a business bank account, a personal bank account? Again, some more details on that would be really helpful, Hype House. And again, if you want to send me a DM and ask me specifically, I can happily answer that if it's difficult to be very specific on this session. So it's a business bank, and they're requiring you to move it just to a different bank account. And which bank is it? If you can give me as much information as possible on that, then that would be really helpful, and then I can try and understand why they might be asking that and how I might be able to help you with that. And that goes for anyone. If you do have any questions and you do not want to ask them in the comments, or you are unable to ask them in the comments, then please do just send me a direct message and ask me there. I'm happy to answer any of those questions as well. So we're hearing as well, could business owners and leaders, CEOs and board of directors have anticipated the pandemic? Big question. Could business owners, leaders, CEOs and board of directors have anticipated the pandemic? PayPal executive Louise Pentland says yes. However, most businesses certainly didn't have a full playbook. And of course, the majority of small businesses don't even have any contingency planning in place for most, let alone any disaster recovery plans or any pandemic planning, any major disaster planning. This crisis has sent businesses back to their core principles, though, and required businesses and business owners to really assess their values at this time. Some of the things that have emerged as a result of that are, in all honesty, ugly. I've seen some wild, far-fetched comments and blamings by a small group, thankfully, of small business owners over this. rather than leadership and accountability. And of course, the individual business owner is not accountable for a pandemic happening, but they are accountable for their own business and how that is now operating and how that is now dealing with this situation. And we have to all be able to look in the mirror and understand that what we have done out of integrity, and we have done out of our values, and it has always, it has been the right thing for our business and for our customers and for our audience. And we all need to be able to do that. And in all honesty, in some instances, from some of the things I've seen, I'm not sure that some people would be able to say that. The thing is, when push comes to shove, the business culture, even if it is only the culture of a solo director, but it's that will be determining the determining factor for many, many businesses. And it will be that basically leads a business at this point in time to come out of this doing well or to come out of this failing. And that, as a leader and as a business owner, is up to you fundamentally. So that is where we are sitting at the moment. It's up to us as business owners to take control of our businesses and to ride through the storm with them, and to get your business to a place strategically where you can see it through, not only the crisis, but also the recession as well. Because the thing is, if we're not willing to adapt our businesses to the adapting and changing landscape, then we can't be surprised if we don't have much of a business for longer. So we need to understand that the business landscape is changing, the purchasing landscape is changing, the consumer landscape is changing, the client landscape is changing, and we cannot, as small business owners, sit on our laurels and think, oh, it'll be fine, this will pass, it'll all be built by September. That is not going to be the situation, because we are in a different business landscape now. We are in a different place. And as business owners, it is our responsibility to understand that, to be strategic over that, and to lead through it. Even if we are leading just ourselves and our audience, whether we're leading a team or not, it is our responsibility as business owners to do that. So this is something I'm incredibly passionate about, is making sure that the strategy that you're using in your business is fit for purpose, and that it is going to see you through as well. It's going to actually support you, and it support your family, and support your customers and your clients and your team and all those things, because otherwise we are not running a stable business. So that was a little bit of a passionate call to arms almost there, but it is so important. We are hearing from Brussels that they are calling for a new environmental tax and corporate levies to fund a COVID-19 recovery plan. Of course, the UK is no longer subject to these EU levies and things, but it's interesting to see what they are doing, because a number of other things that, of course, have been involved in various EU countries, we have been looking at in terms of what we might be doing in policy in the UK to support businesses and individuals during this time. So it's an interesting one to keep an eye on as well. Brussels have been saying that they want to create a recovery fund to provide support to stricken countries. Of course, Italy and Spain, both incredibly hard, have been incredibly hit by coronavirus and suffered quite dreadfully. Amongst the ideas are an EU-wide plastics tax, for example. So very interesting, these kind of potentially new environmental taxes being discussed as a possibility to try and support countries out of this situation by the provision of grants and things like that. So hello, Summer. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Hello, Matthew. Hello, Noah. Hello, Ruby Hope. Thank you for tuning in. I very much appreciate everyone who's watching. I can see I can see a number of you are tuning in, so I do very much appreciate that. And hello to everyone who is tuning in also within the Uncover Wealth community. This is my private community on Facebook, which if you are not a member already, I invite you to join. I would love to have you there. If you are not already a member of the Uncover Wealth community, you can head over to Facebook and put Uncover Wealth community in the search bar. Or you can head to annetteandco.co.uk/FB group and you will get in that way as well. So please do come over. Please say hello. This is my private community for business owners and entrepreneurs. So if you are a entrepreneur, business owner, please do come in there. I have exclusive trainings in there as well that I do not share anywhere else. So please do join me. The FTSE 100, the leading share index in the UK, has risen this morning amid plans laid out last night by the Prime Minister for a phased reopening of the retail sector. We are hearing that non-essential retail can happen from the 15th of June as long as it is COVID secure, and outdoor retail can happen from the 1st of June. Not included in these plans as yet are hairdressers, nail bars, beauticians, cafes, pubs, or hospitality venues, but this is the start of the phased reopening of UK retail. Again, like I said at the beginning, will be interesting to see if the retail habits of the public do bounce back or if they stay with predominantly wanting to shop online and what that might actually look like as well. And of course, this links in to the issue of PPE, making sure that that retail premises are COVID secure, a massive additional cost for many retailers to do that. And with potentially reduced footfall, the question is, for some retailers, will it even be worth opening under those conditions? Or are they actually going to be financially better off keeping the doors closed? Is opening the doors just meaning they're going to then be running at a big loss? Questions that the retailers will need to assess and come up with answers for ahead of the 15th of June for non-essential retail reopening date. So that is going to be a big issue. There are powers in place to enforce actions if the public and the employees are not protected, including fines and jail of up to 2 years. So that's obviously a big issue for many retailers when they are examining whether they can reopen, what that actually means. I do very much appreciate all the likes, all the hearts, all the love, all the follows, all the hellos, whichever platform you are on. So thank you for that. I do very, very much appreciate it. Good morning, Sapphire. Thank you for tuning in again today. Thank you for the likes, Abdul. I do very much appreciate it. So let's see if we have any questions coming through. Let's see. I'm being asked by Mr. San on TikTok, how do I see the world? That is an incredibly huge question, and probably one that might take a little longer than this session to answer, in all honesty. So let's see if we've got any questions or queries. I don't think we have anything coming through there. This is your UK business and coronavirus update. AMs with Annette happens weekdays at 11 a.m. on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, and of course within the Uncover Wealth community, my private Facebook group, which, as I said, I invite you all to join. I encourage you to come over there. If you are not already in the Uncover Wealth community, please do type Uncover Wealth community into the search bar in Facebook and join me in there. I would love to see you in there and to welcome you into that group. I am back again tomorrow at 11 a.m. as always. I also do want to share with you, whilst I am on all this week inside the Uncover Wealth community, I'm hosting the Wealth Lab, building your implementable profit plan. If you are running a business and you do not have a strategic profit plan in place, then I highly, highly urge you to come and join me. If you come into the Uncover Wealth community, I will give you the link to register and sign up. It's happening live in there anyway. There is live videos every day, live training happening every day, along with an associated workbook to step you through step by step building your profit plan in your business. Incredibly important at any time, but right now even more so as we strategize and we work out what our businesses need to look like over the next few years, over this recessionary period in particular, to make sure that we do survive and thrive during it. So I would love for you to join me in there as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. I know your time is incredibly precious, and I appreciate you spending some of it with me. So thank you once again. I am back, as I said, 11 a.m. tomorrow, same time, same place, wherever you are watching it. I will be there. So please do join me then, and I will speak to you all very soon. Take care.